Okay, Flores is out. Time to turn the page. Who's next?
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
Yo, it's your boy OD the GM. Got another one for you. We want to talk about some of the coaching hires, and I hear about Leslie Frazier and these. I ain't really on Leslie Frazier, them run like that, but we can get into this right now. Talk about our sponsors. We sponsored by today Arm & Hammer Construction Company, specializing in framing, regular trim, sheetrock, finish work, decking. Arm & Hammer. If you're located in Abaco, even Nassau, Arm & Hammer 242@gmail.com. Also sponsored by McGrill. Get you the best in grill food, grill pork chop, grill chicken. And I talking about sauce to die for. And we deliver. McGrill. Weekends, Friday, Saturday. Don't get your grill on then. Also by Classic Games. They put retro games on your Fire Stick. I know a lot of us didn't know that could have happened. I talking Atari 5200, 7800. I talking Nintendo, Mega Drive, Master System. That's what that is, a Japanese, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. I arcade games, your Neo Geo. All on your Fire Stick. Wow. Could hit up Classic Games, 814-7591. Classic Games, if you're a gamer, casual or serious, and you like the old school games, gotta hit up Classic Games. So anyway, let's get right into this head coaching search. There, the Dolphins, they got some fellas on lineup, and these fellas I want to talk about right here quick. Some of the fellas what Miami got lined up, right? And I ain't a fan no more of the first year guys. I don't want nobody to come learn on the job. Our team too talented for that. Okay, Flores was learning on the job, and he said himself he had some things he needed to change. I don't know why they just couldn't have a hard conversation and iron out whatever they needed to iron out. But I'll talk about Mike McDaniel, the 49ers OC, 38 years old, 5 years with the team. He used to be, he is the run game coordinator. I guess they have him as OC, but we all know Kyle Shanahan calls the players. And he was also with the Falcons, Browns, football team, the Texans, and Broncos. He is called the run game genius in San Fran. And whoever they put in the lineup usually is have decent games. He turned undrafted guys into serviceable running backs. I can't take it from him. He looks like he knows what to do in the run game. I don't know how much of it is my knock on him, is I don't know how much of it is just Kyle Shanahan's system he's been able to be successful in. You understand? But maybe he sounds like a bright guy, a bright offensive mind, but even though I've heard it before. But he make guys like Jimmy Garoppolo them look little good, I guess. But anyhow, he's just a run game coordinator. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You know what I mean? This is a guy I don't think we should consider. Just because I do not know how much of it is Kyle Shanahan. Okay? Brian Daboll, Bills. All right? He's the Bills OC. He has 5 rings with the Patriots. 5 rings. Not as any coordinator, but 5 rings. He's also been with the Browns, the Dolphins, Chiefs, and he's been to Alabama. He was Tua's coach at one point. I think he was. I think in the freshman year or something like that. I'm not sure. I think he was. My thing about him, in his whole career, he never had a good offense. His offense always was, bottom of the league, 20th. That was the rankings. Josh Allen, 3rd year when Josh Allen took a leap, we don't know how much of it is just Josh Allen's determination to be great or his hands-on coaching. We don't know. But we can't deny he was instrumental in Josh Allen's leap. But up until that point, his offenses really sucked. But he's been around, so him being able to put together a staff, I don't think should be a problem. And that's probably the key thing now, Miami Dolphin fans. That's what we're talking about a lot, is the coach able to put together a staff. The previous Mike McDaniel, I'm not sure how much of a staff he could put together. You know what I'm saying? But, Daboll being an older guy and been around the league, he probably could. But this is a guy, too, I am not high on. Don Quinn. Don Quinn is a guy who's been a head coach before. You remember he blew the 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl to the Patriots. Now he's the Cowboys defensive coordinator. And he has led the top-rated defense in Seattle to 2 Super Bowl appearances. And they won one. That's when that defense was real dominant. Legion of Boom. That's how he got the head coaching job in Atlanta. Now, Don Quinn, I feel he could be a decent head coach. Why? Because I think he could put together a staff. What happened? He always had a decent team in Atlanta, but when the Cutter came in, that screwed the offense right up. Matt Ryan ain't looked the same ever since, honestly. I don't know what happened, but Matt Ryan hasn't looked the same ever since. So that cost Don Quinn his job. And he, as with the 49ers, the Jets, he's been in our building. He was, he's just unable to bounce back after Kyle Shanahan left. This is a guy I may, consider because he has head coach experience. And I don't think he has to learn on the job. He just has to brush up on his past mistakes. Let's move on to Kellen Moore while we're in the Cowboys field. And he's now the Cowboys OC, a very young guy. I don't have his age. I think he's 33, if I'm not mistaken. He is 33. And he played with the Lions and the Cowboys as Dak Prescott, now his starting quarterback, who he calls the plays for. He was his backup. Then became his OC. I don't know how much of a staff he could put together. He only was in Detroit as a player, Cowboys as a player, and then turned OC in Dallas. So I don't know how much people he really have built relationships with to say he can call and say he's trying to put together a staff. I don't know. So this is a guy, as much as I like his potential, I really like his potential. I don't know how much, even with this quarterback out last year, the Cowboys offense still was decent. I just don't know his potential to put together a staff and him having to learn on the job as a head coach. Now, we saw the guy in LA do it. I think a younger age. He was 31. But I don't know. Those things happen once in a lifetime. I don't know if that can happen this quick with another young head coach. I wouldn't be opposed to him, but I just have a feeling it'll be the letdown. You know? But like I say, I'm not interested in first-timers. Sperano, Philbin, Gase, Flores were all first-timers. They all had to learn on the job. Some of them came out the gate good, went to the playoffs, and then did nothing after that. You know, I feel Sperano teams could have been better if Jeff Ireland just could have found him a quarterback. If they had taken Matt Ryan instead of Jake Long, my goodness. We probably had 2 Super Bowls under our belt with Sperano. Sperano teams played hard. They were disciplined and they played hard. Man. But for a first-time head coach, right, guys? I don't know if anyone want to get in the comment section and say it, but do you think they would keep Josh Boyer and our defensive staff? Just to keep some continuity on that side of the ball. Josh Boyer, I like him. You know, I mean, I know it's Flores' system, but he's been in that system for a few years now, and he was the DC for a few years. So to keep him there, maybe we keep the same things on defense. You understand? But these next ones are the only ones I'd be okay for being first-time head coaches in the NFL. These are the guys I'd be okay with. Byron Leftwich, Bucs OC. Used to be the Cardinals QB coach and then the interim OC with Josh Rosen as his QB. The only knock I could find is, you know, how much of this great offense they got there in Tampa is Brady or Bruce Arians. But we all see he's the primary play caller. You know, and it don't hurt to have the GOAT as your quarterback. Tom Brady made a lot of OCs look good, who has gone on to do almost nothing, some of them. But he'd be a guy I would not be opposed to. Steve Sarkisian. Okay? He went back to college and he had 2 stints with Alabama. After he left Alabama as their OC and 2 as OC, he got the head coaching job in Texas with the Longhorns. You know, and he used to be the Raiders QB coach. You know, then he went back to college for a while, then to the Falcons. And to be their OC after after Kyle Shanahan left. I would not be opposed to him, reuniting him with Tua. I don't know if he wants to play pro ball, but this would be a guy I would like to see. You know, and he's making about $6 million a year though. You know, and just after, Falcons Matt Ryan just was deteriorating. Looked like they didn't have a big offense in Atlanta when he was there, but Matt Ryan just didn't look the same for some reason. After that Super Bowl, I don't understand it, but you know, let's move on to some veteran guys who are already head coaches before that I would prefer. These are the guys I would prefer. And it's Josh McDaniels, Patriots OC. Right? Since 2001, he's worked his way up. He was even a defensive assistant early in his Patriot career. He's been the Broncos head coach. After he got fired there, he was the Rams offensive coordinator for a year. And he came back to the Pats, and for the last decade, he has been wreaking havoc on the AFC East. Okay, and he has the rings to prove it. Josh McDaniels, here we go. Not another Patriot coach. Yeah, I admire Josh McDaniels the way he can craft an offense. And I feel he has the same disciplinary characteristics we need in Miami. Miami, we need a disciplinarian as a coach. We cannot have no more of that slackness. No more guys coming to work drunk, no coaches even checking, and guys coming in late to meetings on South Beach partying all night. We have to, that right there, we need a guy who's all about football from OTAs to the day the last ball is caught. We need a guy who's going to be firm and discipline these guys when they get out of pocket. Someone who's all about football, and pro players understand that. Players who want to win understand that. Miami, we can't be a place no more where guys come to get paid and party. Listen to Channing Crowder, them, they out in the casinos and they partying. Could be the game the next day. Brandon Marshall say, man, I sitting in the room getting ready for the game. These guys out here partying. We got to make sure that culture don't come back. Jack Del Rio, Washington football team defensive coordinator. He was with the Dolphins as a player. He only had a cup of tea, though. I think he was just on the practice squad or got cut. This was at the tail end of his career. And he was with the Saints, Ravens, Panthers, Jags. He was a Jags head coach. And Broncos, Raiders. He was the Raiders head coach. I don't think he got a fair deal there. And now he with the Washington football team as the DC. I don't have no problem with Jack Del Rio. I feel he can put together a staff. He had a decent career. Remember, he cut Byron Leftwich for what's his name, and his name escapes me. And that was a good decision because they went far deep into the playoffs that year after they let go of Leftwich. Leftwich had a long wind-up. Corners could see it and jump it, So he had to make that switch. It was a big switch at the time because Leftwich was a first-round pick. Jack Del Rio, I have no problems with him, man. I think he's an excellent coach, and I think he can put together an excellent staff. Okay? Todd Bowls, Bucs DC. He was with the Jets, Browns, Cowboys, Dolphins, secondary coach and assistant head coach when he was here. You all remember him. We thought he might have gotten that job. I think he's an excellent defensive coach. He took over after Sperano. This guy, he's been with the Eagles, Cardinals, Jets. He's the Jets head coach. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we remember that. Ryan Fitzpatrick. But they won 10 games for season, but didn't get into playoffs, I don't think. $3 million a year, the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league. It might be the highest assistant, I don't know. $3 million a year ain't no slack money. But I think Todd Bowls could be an excellent coach. I think he's a disciplinarian. I think he's firm. I think he's all about football. I think he can put together an excellent staff. I know maybe y'all don't agree with me, but I think Todd Bowls, he can be a good head coach. I think his time is coming back around. These next set of guys, basically is only two, I'm not sold on. And Doug Peterson is one. I know everybody love Doug Peterson right now. They feel he got a raw deal in Philly and whatever. And he's an excellent coach. He's won a Super Bowl from the Andy Reid tree, yada, yada, yada. But after Frank Reich left, that offense was never the same. After Frank Reich left for the Colts, that offense was never the same. That spelled the end for Doug Peterson. When he had Frank Reich there, Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate. He was balling before he got hurt. Eric Bienemy. I know how much, You know, I don't understand. I don't know how much of it is Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. Everybody talks about Eric Bienemy, and I feel he's due for a chance to be a head coach. I just don't want him as our head coach. Okay, because I'm just not. Andy Reid assistants haven't been too successful. Nagy just got fired. Peterson been gone. I don't. These guys haven't been successful. This Andy Reid system, these guys piggybacking on, and they are not doing a great job at it. Okay. But the key thing is, in our next head coaching hire guys is a disciplinarian, man. Miami have to take football serious again. Flores, he laid that foundation. A lot of the defensive players spoke highly of him. But I watch him, his before game handshakes with the guys. You can tell when guys aren't interested, when they don't like you. You know, I wish he didn't have that character flaw as being, you know, easy to hate. But he got results. If he had a good balance, he would have been in Miami for a long time. I'm gonna always bang the table for Flores. We haven't had a good coach in a long time. But let me know what y'all think. You know what I mean? It's OD the GM. We can link.